The World War II cadet whose body was frozen on a California mountaintop for 66 years is finally going to be laid to rest in his native Belmont County. Today and tomorrow, Wilson Funeral Home in Bridgeport is the site of the visitation for friends, family, and the public. Saturday will be the funeral of Ernest Glenn Munn, who died at the age of 23 and is finally being buried at the age of 90. 7 News reporter DK Wright is live in the newsroom with a very special aspect of this story. DK?
Jim, Ernest Glenn Munn was learning how to be a navigator in the U.S. Army Air Corps. His plane crashed on a snowy mountaintop in November 1942, killing all 4 cadets aboard. Munn wrote a letter to his mother 13 days earlier that was more appropriate, eerie, and significant than he could possibly have imagined at the time.
The letter was addressed to Mrs. J.G. Munn, his mother. The handwriting was elegant. "Dear Mother," it began, "I received your lovely letter about 4 days ago, but I've been so busy that I haven't had time for anything. Knowing now that his plane crashed 13 days later and that his body was hidden in snow and ice for the next 2/3 of a century, so much of what he wrote in this letter now holds tragic irony, like his description of an earlier training mission. All the high mountains have big white caps of snow on them. It stays all year round." He writes of the weather and its effect on flying in the most chilling passage. They don't like to fly over these very high mountains when it's stormy because they are afraid of downdrafts, forcing the plane into the side of a mountain. He goes on to lighter topics. "Did you hear Bob Hope Tuesday evening? He was here at the field. We were fortunate enough to get out of class for the 45 minutes and see his show." And he describes a visit from his girlfriend and 3 other close friends. "We had a good time," he says. "We went to a dinner dance at the Hotel Senator in Sacramento. Things like that are good for the mind and soul," he writes. "Getting away from the regular, arduous routine, it makes one feel like a free man again, temporarily." He enclosed some pictures taken a month earlier. He doesn't mention his father or sisters by name. Then at the end, he is careful to add, "If I don't mention any particular names at home, tell them not to feel bad, because I do think of you all constantly." It is signed, "Your loving son, Glenn."
That letter was written November 5th, 1942. His plane went down November 18th, 13 days later. This unique visitation is tonight from 6 to 8 and tomorrow from 2 to 4 and 6 to 8 at Wilson Funeral Home in Bridgeport. The funeral is set for 1 p.m. Saturday at Mother Cabrini Church in Coleraine. Reporting live from the 7 Newsroom, I'm DK Wright.